Hello everyone, welcome to Answer Outdoors. I'm Justin Hunnell, and thank you for allowing me to fuel your outdoor passion.
Alright, here we are guys. Again, Answer Outdoors. It's a beautiful Sunday spring morning. And if you're like me, you got turkeys on the brain. Some of you might have started your season already. Some of you might be halfway through. Some of you might be just beginning. And if you're like me, I'm in Pennsylvania. My season's a couple weeks away, and I might scoot up to New York and do some hunting as well. So we all get inundated with a lot of things that we have to get, we have to buy, we have to be successful outdoors people. And I've worked in those industries, and you know, I do think that every job has a tool, and some of those tools work better than others. But these are some proven things that I'm going to go over right now that have to do that you have to have to turkey hunt. And I'm discounting, you know, we're not talking weapons, we're not talking bows, guns, arrows, whatever. That stuff, you got to have it to get in the woods. You got to have a license in the state you're in. But other than that, what do you have to have? And I think the list is surprisingly small. So let's just start with, hey, what's the first thing I have to do to be a successful turkey hunter? Well, in my opinion, you have to spot them. So, you know, these are Vortex Diamondback binoculars, just binoculars, any sort of binoculars. You know, you kind of pay for what you get in binoculars. A Diamondback tends to be one of those binoculars that's a good price range for a lot of people, and also, you know, a very good quality glass. So this is 10 by 42s. These are my binoculars, and you don't have to have the chest harness. I have one. I don't wear it turkey hunting. I just run like a bino strap. That's it. That's all you got to have. You can use these for spotting birds out in the field, from the woods, from the truck, from the car, from the road. You know, you got to be able to see the birds and know where they are. Picking them up on the roost, all that good stuff. So, set of binoculars, that's a necessity. You have to have a set of binoculars. All right, guys, what's next after binoculars? Well, you see the birds, you know they're there, and you got to get them in. Let's face it, we hunt turkeys in the spring because we like to call. We like to hear the response, and we like to get them back, and it's the most effective way to do it. So what do I do as far as calling? Well, in my opinion, you need two types of calls. And the reason I say that is because you need a little bit different sound and a little less movement. The first type of call, I'm going to say, for most of us that are capable of using a mouth call, should be a mouth call of some sort. You know, these are diaphragm calls, and I have different brands and different kinds, and you know, different preferences for sound. But really, you need one. That's what you need. One of the most successful turkey hunters I know is my uncle Jeff. He was shooting birds back in the 70s when nobody was shooting them, and he went in the woods with, you know, a pack of smokes, a shotgun, full camo, and a couple diaphragms. It's not a lesson on calling. I can call pretty well with a diaphragm, and in that, you know, it's my comfort level. This is my lightest option to carry in the woods and call. So multiple diaphragms work. Now the upsides are huge. You don't move when you're using a diaphragm. You know, it's the lightest option. You can have multiple sounds for not much weight. That being said, they don't cut the wind as well. And sometimes, for some reason, a friction call just will turn a bird on. So that is something else you need. But for me, one call will always be, in my hunting situation, a diaphragm. So don't discount the mouth call. Learn how to use one and pack one along. All right, guys, I said two calls. So I'm going to give you two friction options now, because some folks just cannot handle using a diaphragm. So the first friction option is going to be the easiest friction option, other than a push button call, and I just don't happen to have one. I broke one. I'm probably not going to replace it. It's not my favorite option. But a good two-sided box call So 2 different tones. You know, this is redhead. This is an older call. And there's 2 different woods here. You just run a box call, and that's the simplest way to do it, you know. So a box call will tend to cut the wind better than anything else. That's what's really cool about a box call. It is a little bit of movement that you're not going to have with other calls, but you can do basically any call you need to do, you can do on a box call, and it's really nice to use out on windy days, on days where they're not responding to subtle calling. A box call really gets up and has some bite. And as I look at this, you will not see locator calls in this video. My assumption is that you can locate with a turkey call. Just when you're doing that, be ready to sit down, assume the bird is less than 50 yards from you on over the next ridge or someplace within sight. So you're going to want to be set up and then call when you're using turkey calls as locator calls. But a box call in that case is one of the very best. So the other one we're going to use, excuse me, I'm going to wet my whistle here real quick. The other one we're going to look at is the old peg and pot. It's going to be some sort of slate or slate style call. You know, this is a crystal call. And as far as that goes, I might put up a video about this. This is a striker I made. And you know, this is a power crystal. This call is over 20 years old. So what's awesome about this is it does cut wind. You are able to make very subtle sounds on it, very loud sounds on it, very intermediate sounds on it. It's less movement than a box call, and you can just set it on your leg and call. You can use it a million different ways, but what's really cool is the fact that you can use a different striker of a different material and make the call sound completely different. So you can carry one of these and 3 of these that don't weigh anything and have 3 different calls essentially. So I know I said the minimum that you're going to carry in the woods, you know, so all of these come with a striker. Strikers are sold separately, but I love the minimum amount of movement, the ability to go loud and soft, and the ability to change the tone with just a simple change of a basic dowel on a dowel. That's all this is. So the 2 calls that we're going to be using for friction calls in my world are going to be, you know, a simple slate call, a pot and peg, or a box call, and they're really going to round out that style call for you. So you should have a friction call. All right, guys, here's the next one. Check it out. It's a simple hen decoy. A lot of articles you'll read will say, if you can only run one, run a Jake. If you can only, you know, run one, run a strutter decoy. I have a strutter decoy. You guys saw me throw it in the trash already. I actually have a little nicer hen, I think, that's on the way. But a simple hen decoy can be had for under 20 bucks. And at 30 yards, I don't know if a bird's going to see a difference between this and a super highly realistic decoy. If you're bow hunting or hunting out of a blind, you might want an avian axe or something like that, and they're super nice, I get it. But when we're run and gun turkey hunting and we're beginning turkey hunting and we're mobile turkey hunting, hey, a simple foam decoy that just gives it the outline, or a Montana decoy, you know, a flat decoy, 2D decoy, gives it a simple outline in a hen, it's tough to beat. And carrying it with you is really nice. This is light, folds up. I'm gonna hit it with a hair dryer in a couple days here to puff it up, but simple stake, it's primo stake, get it, you know, down in the ground, get that turkey up and visible for everything, and really a simple under $20 decoy will bring a bit of realism to your your setup that you otherwise wouldn't have. So I think this is basically a necessity at this point. You know, back to my Uncle Jeff, he never used one, but at the same time, they weren't really available. So I think just a simple $20, whatever price point hen decoy is really a necessity, and something that honestly I could fit under my coat and walk with and be just fine. So simple foam decoy is a necessity. All right, guys, these become one category, and this is something it's touted often as something to carry extras. It's a pair of camo gloves and a face mask of some sort. This is a buff. I just pull it right up. I like having at least that much of my face clear, and I like the fabric it's made out of. And then these are a simple pair of gloves. I don't remember where I got them. They're mossy oak. Camo brand doesn't matter. Camo matters maybe more in turkey world, but probably not. And right now I'm rocking the mossy oak and everything, but any other given day, my vest is Realtree. It just doesn't. It's fine, whatever you have. They killed them in army camo. They killed them in plaid and green. In fact, I would not hesitate hunting in what I'm wearing right now, literally exactly this. But you need to cover your face and you need to cover your hands, because these are beacons. I remember on a duck hunt, I was out with my Uncle Steven. I walked like 200 yards away from him on a beaver flow, and I could see his hands and his face only. I knew where he was, so that was part of it. But the other thing is, just looking over, that was the only parts of him I could see. So, they're beacons. You need to cover them up. You don't want to be a lighthouse with your big ugly mug and your hands just flapping around. So, minimum movement, slow movements if possible. Any earth tone, natural tone is fine. Camo's great. 3D camo is awesome. I have a ghillie suit that I wear on occasion. But really, if we're breaking it down, earth tone and covering your face and your hands. So you need a glove, you need a set of gloves, and you need a mask. All right, guys, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I consider this an absolute must in the turkey woods. This is a thermocell, if you don't know, and this is going to repel most bugs. I do spray my clothes down with some sort of DEET because of ticks. But the thermocell is what I rock for mosquitoes, and in a place where you're not tick heavy, no big deal, but there's mosquitoes everywhere. So you're going to want a thermocell. Mine was just on, so I turned it off. But the thing with these is you can buy the camo one, you can buy the kit, you can buy this, you can buy that to go with these. So you need some refills. And with this one, I've had the covers that strap on. I'm just going to take a carabiner and electrician's tape that to this, and I can hang it anywhere. It doesn't have to be high tech. It doesn't have to look awesome. I like looking good as much as the next person, obviously. But the simple fact is, this thing is a necessity, and however you affix it to your clothing, you should have it kind of out in the world to keep those bugs away from you. So definitely need a thermocell. I definitely consider this a necessity in the turkey woods. All right, here we go, guys. This is the next thing on the list, and it's a good quality headlamp. So this is a black diamond, and I have this headlamp, was a gift. It has both red, green, and actually all three white lights, and I tend to run red, not because I'm afraid of the game seeing it, but because it's easier for my eyes to readjust. And just a good quality. So this has a lock on it. The reason you want a lock is because when you throw this in your pocket or whatever, you don't want it to come on and kill your batteries. So I always have a headlamp at the ready. This is a nicer headlamp than I used to run. You can get a headlamp at Walmart, it's fine. You can use the little hat clip thing. I don't use those because I don't like trailing blood with them. So for me, it's going to be this, because this was a great gift from somebody. But you can use any headlamp, will get you along, whatever you're comfortable with. But a headlamp is a necessity. It's the best way to get in and out of the woods in the morning. And turkey hunting is a pre-dawn activity. You're going to be out there before the sun rises, if you can be. So you're going to want a good headlamp to get you to the spot to set up on those roosting birds. All right, guys, here we go. We're down to the last couple. And one of those is going to be some kind of butt pad to sit on. Doesn't have to be high tech. This is one off a Lone Wolf stand. In fact, my platform I use for saddle hunting came with this seat. So this is my run and gun. It has nice, you know, Velcro strips here. But you can, again, buy these at any sporting goods store. It doesn't have to be a Lone Wolf. It doesn't have to be Camo. They sell them in brown and gray and everything else. So a simple foam pad to sit on. If you want to get high tech, you can get a chair, you can get a stool. They make all sorts of strut seats and all that stuff. You can get 2 of these so you can lean up against the tree. But I found that for me, just a nice simple couple ounce pad is all I really need. So again, if I'm jumping out of the truck and run and gun, I spotted some birds and I don't want to take the time to put the vest on and unsnap this is all you need. And these can be had, like I said, just about anywhere that you would buy sporting goods. And you don't need a vest, you don't need to have, you know, a chair with legs, and all that stuff's nice, but it's also very expensive. And we're talking about getting somebody into turkey hunting, or somebody who doesn't want to spend a ton of money turkey hunting. There's a lot of us who are dedicated something else, deer hunters, bass fishermen, you know, walleye fishermen, whatever, duck hunters. So you might have a lot of the stuff that's similar. This is really a category of stuff that's similar. And this is really a video of, hey, what's it take to get by? And these are the things I think it takes to get by. And a seat under your butt is one of them. And it doesn't have to be extravagant. All right, guys. We're down to the last one. It's a knife. You should be carrying a nice knife with you. It doesn't have to be an expensive knife. Those are 2 different things. This is popular Mora. I have used this to break down multiple deer. I've used it to fall like a bush, tree, whatever. I've used it as a skinning knife, a gutting knife, a kitchen knife. It is a good quality steel blade. It is full tang. It's a rubberized handle. It is neon green, so when I drop it, I can find it. Green's my favorite color, so I want neon green. These are an awesome knife, and I'm not saying that because I want you to click the link below and buy them. That's part of it, but really they're just a great knife. I'll include a picture maybe in here of where I sliced my finger open through a work glove with one of these knives. Taking care of field dressing a deer, but it's a good quality knife. You can use a folder, that's fine. You can use whatever, but this just tends to be an outdoor knife that I really love and have really grown to trust. And I like this nice, you know, plastic sheath and rubber handle. It's a really nice knife. But the bottom line is you need a knife. It can be a $5 knife, it could be a $500 knife, it could be a knife out of your, you know, your kitchen drawer for all I care. But you got to have a knife, and you got to be able to clean that turkey after you're successful. That's really what it's about, is breaking that bird down. Because if this is the minimum stuff you have and you make it out to the woods, you can still kill a turkey. You can still bring home a nice gobbler, and you don't need any more than that. And really, if we look at it, I'm in a reasonably nice hunting coat right now. I have multiple pockets, so and a clip for my knife. So really, I could fit all of that stuff in this coat with these dull color pants on. I have a set of hiking boots, camo hat, throw my, you know, face mask and my gloves on, and I'm good to go. I could hunt right now as I sit. All the stuff is nice, but you don't need everything. I have everything. You don't need it. So get it out there. Get some of this minimum stuff. I mean, altogether, there might be $100 worth of stuff here. So, you know, you don't need a special turkey gun. You don't need a special bow set up for turkeys. Just take what you have and get out in the woods with this very minimum stuff, and you probably have a lot of it sitting around. And if you don't, hey man, I really think you could probably scrap the decoy, to be honest, and you know, go to one call and still kill a bird. So really the most important thing is time. Get out there, put feet to the ground, beat the trails, beat the ridges, beat the rivers. Get out there and turkey hunt, and you will be successful. If you put the time in with this very minimum stuff, and you know, set up and use woodsmanship, study that woodsmanship, and get out there with that, you will be successful. You don't need everything else. All you need is you and the best tool you got, which is between your ears. So be safe, shoot straight, and catch a big one, guys. Good luck. Mash that subscribe button, click those links, and I'll see you soon.